Alright, listen up. We've all seen OP characters return, but have you ever seen a legendary child soldier, a straight-up one-man army, quit the mercenary life to go to high school? He thought he could just chill, a king in a bronze-level lobby. But of course, the local school bullies decided to pick a fight with literally the most dangerous teenager on the planet. Bro, they have no idea who they're messing with. But before we get to the high school drama, let's rewind to see exactly what kind of hell our boy came from. We open on a desolate, war-torn landscape. A rescue mission has gone completely sideways because an informant sold them out. And just like that, we're thrown into the chaos. The intel was bad, the numbers were wrong. It was a trap from the start. They're getting absolutely swarmed in this tight corridor. It's an ambush, plain and simple. The fighting is absolutely brutal and claustrophobic. It's not clean, it's desperate. You can practically feel every punch and hear every grunt. This isn't a game, this is survival. Just when they think it can't get any worse, they hear something, a rattling sound. They're not alone. And then, a new figure emerges from the shadows. The tension just shot through the roof. And who is this mysterious badass who just dropped in? It's our boy Ijin, but he's just a kid, battle-hardened and intense. He even speaks Korean, catching everyone completely off guard. Turns out, Ijin's here on his own rescue mission. He's busting these prisoners out, tearing through the enemy guards like they're absolutely nothing. The soldiers he's rescuing are just watching in awe. They can't believe it. This kid took down an entire squad without making a single sound. He's a ghost. But just as they're processing this, more enemies are on the way. No time to rest. And look at him go. Pow! Bam! He's just a blur of motion. It's not a fight. It's a takedown clinic. He disarms two guys before they can even reach for their guns. The skill is just insane. The other soldiers are just wondering, what agency is this monster from? It basically tells the other guys, I'll handle this, just don't get in my way. He's not being arrogant. He's just stating a fact. While they're trying to be strategic, our boy just charges straight in. Predator mode activated. While the trained soldiers are urging caution, Ijin sees a clear path forward and takes it without a second of hesitation. He knows what he's doing. In the tight confines of the hallway, Ijin puts on a masterclass of CQC and gun fu. Dodging, countering, disarming, and shooting. Every move is fluid and brutally efficient. He's a literal beast. A one-man army clearing the hallway. His tactics are reckless, sure, but damn, are they effective. He's not fighting like a soldier. He's fighting like an apex predator. After clearing the way, he links up with his contact. But Ijin is sharp. He noticed his teammate failed to account for the enemy's weakened state. A critical oversight in his book. The blondie is suspicious now, testing Ijin by asking if he's Korean. It's clear that there's more to our boy than just being another merc for hire. Meanwhile, Major Kong reunites with the rest of his squad. They were certain it was over for them, only to be saved by this mysterious, masked kid. The shock and gratitude are real. Major Kong tries to thank Ijin, but our boy is all business. No need. I'm just carrying out a commission. A true professional, cold and detached. But it's not over yet. Just as they're about to part ways, boom, an explosion rocks the area. The enemy isn't done with them. You can't let your guard down for a second on this battlefield. While everyone else is disoriented from the mortar fire, our boy is already assessing the situation, his senses on high alert. Even amidst the chaos, his first thought is the safety of the men he just rescued. Under heavy gunfire, Ijin holds the line, fighting back all by himself. And that's when Major Kong finally gets a clear look, this legendary mercenary. He's just a kid. And then, BAM. 6 months later, we jump from a war zone to a high school classroom. The contrast is insane. And guess who the new transfer student is? Our boy, Ijin Yu. Meanwhile, in that very classroom, a girl writes a letter to the brother she thought she lost in a plane crash 10 years ago. Little does she know, the person she's mourning is standing right outside her door. We get a quick flashback to the reunion. After 10 years of being presumed dead, Ijin finally meets his grandfather and sister again at the airport. You can see the overwhelming emotion as he's welcomed back into a family. Back in the present, it's clear his sister, Daeyeon, is having a rough time at school. She's being cornered by some blonde mean girl and her crew. The classic school bully situation. And of course, words aren't enough for them. The blonde girl slaps Daeyeon right across the face, threatening to make a public spectacle of her. This is just straight up bullying. But right at that moment, our boy Ijin makes his grand entrance. The teacher introduces him, and instantly, the fangirling is real. All the girls in the class are obsessed. He's got that main character aura. Of course, not everyone's a fan. The local tough guys are already getting jealous and decide to give the new kid a warm welcome by trying to trip him. Big mistake. With his mercenary reflexes, Aijin easily sidesteps the attempt. But he remembers what his superior told him. Stay out of fights in Korea. He's trying to live a peaceful life. But trouble just seems to find him. We see a flashback of Major Kong worrying about him. He knows Aijin survived for 10 years using his professional instincts, where one wrong move means death. But high school, that's a whole different kind of battlefield. Aijin's calm, almost dismissive response to the bully's provocation is more intimidating than any threat. The bully tries to play it cool, but you can tell he's rattled. The power dynamic has already been set. After class, a friendly classmate comes over to chat, gossiping about the little confrontation that just happened. Aijin's already making an impression, and his high school life is shaping up to be anything but boring. Another classmate comes over to give him the rundown on the school's social hierarchy, pointing out the two main bullies he needs to watch out for. Little do they know, our boy has dealt with far worse than high school thugs. Class time, break time, P. For a normal student, it's just school. But for Aijin, he's constantly scanning, observing, analyzing. He's treating this damn high school like a new mission zone, assessing every potential threat. He flashes back to the battlefield, the muscle memory of holding a rifle still fresh. And then he looks out the window at the peaceful school grounds. The contrast is jarring. Can he really adapt to this life? After school, he finds his sister Daeyeon waiting for him. He suggests they walk home together, and she's a little flustered but agrees. It's an awkward but sweet first step to rebuilding their relationship. The walk home is a bit awkward. Daeyeon tries to break the ice, talking about the accident. You can feel the weight of the last 10 years between them. There's so much they need to unpack. The very next day, news that Daeyeon walked home with a hot new transfer student spreads like wildfire. And of course, the lead bully and her cronies are not happy about it. They immediately corner her. Daeyeon tries to explain, but they're not interested in hearing it. The mean girl's brother, who's apparently one of the top dogs of the school, shows up to back his sister and starts throwing threats around. Just as things are about to escalate, Aijin arrives. He calmly observes the bully puffing out his chest. In his professional eyes, the guy's fighting stance is a joke, leaving all his vital points wide open for an attack. Just don't fight. The words echo in his head. Aijin tries to walk away, to de-escalate, but the bully isn't having it. He grabs him, forcing the confrontation. The bully gets in his face, spitting insults about living overseas. He has no idea that he's just grabbed the collar of one of the most dangerous teenagers on the planet, and our boy's patience is wearing thin. And that's the last straw. With a swift, precise move, smack, Aijin twists the bully's wrist. The guy is instantly screaming in pain. The fight was over before it even began. We get another flashback. Aijin's old commanding officers are discussing his future. They worry about the boy who's known nothing but hardship since he was 9. They genuinely hope that returning to his family will help him heal. But peace was never an option. Back in the school hallway, the bullies swarm him. Forced to act, Aijin unleashes a single, powerful kick, sending the main guy flying. Pow! The entire hallway is stunned into silence. 1 second the bully was talking trash, the next he's part of the wall decoration. Look at the shock on everyone's faces, especially his sister's. In the middle of the chaos, Aijin gently covers his sister's eyes with his jacket to shield her from the scene. Then he just casually asks if she wants a snack. The whiplash is incredible. Daeyeon is completely flustered by his sudden gentleness, while the bully's lackey is just standing there, absolutely stunned. His boss just got one shot. His brain just can't process it. Later, his sister asks if he did something to those guys. Our boy's response? A simple calm yeah. He's so unfazed by it all, it's almost terrifying. And then we cut to him at home, wearing an adorable strawberry apron and insisting on doing the dishes. The duality of this man, a stone-cold killer in the streets, a domestic god in the kitchen. The charm is off the charts. At dinner, his grandpa asks about his first day of school. Aijin glances at his sister and says it was interesting. Yeah, dismantling the school's entire bully structure is definitely one way to describe an interesting day. The next morning, Aijin jolts awake, panting and sweating. It's clear that even if he's left the battlefield hasn't left him. The nightmares are still very real. His sister knocks on his door, telling him their grandpa already left for work early in the morning. This seems to catch Aijin by surprise, hinting that he might not know the full story about his family's financial situation. Seeing the huge breakfast his sister prepared for him, and knowing his elderly grandpa is out working hard, a new resolve hardens in Aijin's eyes. His mission is clear now: protect his family at all costs. Back at school, the bullies that Aijin beat up are now getting another beatdown from their own boss. He's furious that his entire crew got dismantled by a single new kid. Talk about embarrassing. Fear is starting to spread through the bully clique. Some of them want to back off, realizing they messed with the wrong guy. But the lead mean girl isn't scared. Her brother basically runs the school, so she thinks she's untouchable. She's convinced that Daeyeon is only acting tough now because her big brother is here to protect her. This infuriates her, and she decides she needs to put Daeyeon back in her place, brother or no brother. So she corners Daeyeon again by the recycling bins and, without a word, kicks her straight to the ground. These bullies just never learn, do they? She taunts Daeyeon, saying her tough guy brother picked a fight with the wrong people yesterday. She's basically planning to go after Aijin directly now to teach him a lesson. But the second she threatens her brother, something snaps in Daeyeon. For the first time, she stands up for herself, angrily demanding to know what they plan to do to him. The power of family is making her brave. After school, the head honcho and his gang corner Aijin in the hallway. The whole school is buzzing with tension. It looks like the big showdown is finally about to happen. Daeyeon bursts into the classroom, clothes dirty and disheveled, frantically looking for Aijin. She's trying to warn him, but it's too late. The fight is already underway. The lead bully starts running his mouth, talking trash about Aijin's sister. And that's the trigger. You can see the switch flip in Aijin's eyes. They just crossed a line they can't uncross. Inside the classroom, the bullies are goofing off, playing a game, flicking erasers, and calling it a headshot. Little do they know, a real headshot expert is about to walk through that door. One of the goons uses a milk carton like a projectile, smacking another student in the back of the head. They're showing off, completely oblivious to the real danger approaching. They're bragging about their skills, comparing their eraser pistol to an AK-47. The level of delusion is hilarious, especially considering what's about to happen to them. The mean girl suggests they call Aijin out after school to talk some sense into him. The irony is thick, as her brother and his crew are about to get a very different kind of talking to. The friendly classmate approaches Aijin again, trying to ask him to hang out, but Aijin says he has to walk his sister home. When the classmate realizes his sister is the Daeyeon, the one who gets bullied, the pieces start clicking into place for him. The classmate gives Aijin the full story. His sister Daeyeon has been bullied since middle school out of pure jealousy, and the bully's brother, Jisoo Kim, is the tyrant who enables it. All the information Aijin needs is now laid out before him. He recalls his grandpa's wish for him to adapt and live a normal life. But how can he be normal when his family is being targeted? For Aijin, there is no peace as long as his loved ones are in danger. Back with the bullies, the mean girl gets some milk spilled on her from Daeyeon's dirty clothes and completely loses it. She directs all her rage onto Daeyeon, who is just trying to warn her brother. Daeyeon apologizes profusely, but the bully just scoffs, calling her a drama queen. The lack of empathy is astounding. They're just looking for any excuse to be cruel. Just then, the door bursts open, and it's Aijin. He sees his sister on the floor, crying. The look in his eyes is pure ice. He tells her calmly, "You have nothing to be sorry for. They're the ones who should be sorry." And with that, all hell breaks loose. Aijin unleashes his full power. He moves like a predator, and the one-sided beatdown officially begins. They mess with the wrong family. The lead bully is completely stunned, flinching at Aijin's sheer presence. He thought he was the top dog, but now he's face-to-face with a true apex predator. And he is terrified. The bully tries to act tough, but Aijin isn't playing games. He blocks the incoming punch with ease and prepares a counter that's going to send him flying. The bully is shocked that his punch was blocked. He throws another wild swing, thinking he can catch Aijin off guard. He has no idea he's fighting someone who operates on a completely different level. Clutch, whoosh, POW. Aijin effortlessly dodges and weaves, delivering a devastating elbow strike that sends the bully stumbling. This isn't a fight, it's a dissection. A final, brutal punch to the jaw, and it's all over. The so-called king of the school is left a bloody mess on the floor. That's what you get for messing with his sister. The entire school is in shock. The whispers start immediately. Holy S asterisk asterisk asterisk. Is this for real? He just knocked out Jisoo Kim. Nobody can believe what they just witnessed. The school's hierarchy has just been shattered. Ignoring the chaos around him, Aijin walks over to his sister and pulls her into a gentle hug. It finally dawns on her. He's fighting again. Because of her. The realization hits her hard. After the dust settles, Aijin calmly offers to walk his sister back to her classroom, as if he didn't just dismantle an entire gang. But the whispers follow them. Did one guy just whoop Jisoo Kim's entire posse? A new legend is born. The rest of the bullies are terrified. They admit Aijin is on another level, something way beyond a typical hardcore student. Meanwhile, the friendly classmate is just thinking, I knew he was built different. Daeyeon feels guilty, thinking she dragged her brother into this mess. But Aijin just smiles and tells her it's supposed to be this way. For him, protecting his family isn't a choice. It's his entire purpose. He thinks back to his time as a mercenary, a dog-eat-dog world where everyone only looked out for themselves. It's precisely because he's seen the worst of humanity that he's so determined to protect the good he's finally found. After that day, the bullying stops. Aijin becomes the talk of the school, with everyone wondering what kind of overseas schools teach you how to dismantle people like that. The respect is mixed with a healthy dose of fear. Even the former bullies now treat him with caution. The red-haired girl admits to her friends that there's something different about him. He doesn't fight like a high schooler. He fights like a pro. The blonde mean girl is still trying to rally the troops, but her own friends turn on her. If you think it's so easy, you go and fight him yourself. The bully squad has officially imploded. Furious and abandoned by her crew, she storms off. She can't believe these losers couldn't even handle one guy. Her pride is completely shattered. She directs all her frustration at Daeyeon, sneering that she can only act brave because her big brother is there to save her. Her jealousy is reaching a dangerous level. She can't accept this new reality. Is she supposed to just let Daeyeon do whatever she wants now? Her entire sense of control over the school has been destroyed, and she's not going to take it lying down. Like hell I will. That look in her eyes says it all. She's not done yet. She's going to find another way to get her revenge, and you just know it's going to get messy. A new storm is brewing. And so, another school day ends. Looks peaceful, right? But for our boy Aijin, this is just the calm before the storm. He knows this high school life is just another battlefield. And he's got one rule. They're the ones who should be sorry, not you. Speaking of people who should be sorry, here they are. The Queen Bee and her posse are back to their old tricks, terrorizing another student. The slap, the hair pulling. This is the daily reality of this school when our boy isn't around to stop them. But after school, our boy switches back to big brother mode. Look at him, walking his sister Daeyeon home. He's trying so hard to be normal, even cracking a joke about being lost. The guy's a killing machine, but can't find his own way home. You love to see it. Little do they know, they're being watched. The bullies see Daeyeon smiling, and they are absolutely livid. You can just feel the jealousy dripping off them. We'll see how long that smile lasts. Oh, you just know trouble is coming. Meanwhile, our heroes are just trying to buy some green onions for dinner, completely unaware. Back in school, our boy is already the center of attention. The fangirling is real. Even his sister gets curious and asks the million-dollar question. Did you have a girlfriend back home? Look at his face. Bro, the only dates he's had for the last 10 years were probably mission briefings. Daeyeon teases him, saying he's got to be popular with the girls. But our boy flips the script and asks if she's dating anyone. That one question sends her into a blushing panic. Look at him, completely oblivious. He's a master of combat, but a total rookie at romance. Back at home, Grandpa surprises them with a gift. Brand new smartphones. Daeyeon is ecstatic, but our boy Aijin, he's just staring at it. For him, a device like this isn't just for fun. It's a potential liability, a tracking device. The old instincts die hard. Grandpa is adorably trying to figure out the new phone, insisting on saving the numbers himself. It's such a wholesome family moment. Daeyeon teases him, but you can see the warmth. They're slowly but surely rebuilding the bonds that were broken for a decade. Grandpa explains that since Aijin didn't have a phone before, he wanted to get them both new ones to be fair. It's these little moments of family care that are starting to melt our boy's icy exterior. Look at that rare smile. This ordinary happiness is exactly what he's fighting to protect. Later that night, while everyone else is asleep, Aijin is wide awake. He uses his new phone to send a message, reaching out to a contact from his past. It seems that even though he's trying to live a normal life, he can't completely sever ties with the world he left behind. Meanwhile, the guy who received the text is shocked. He can't believe Aijin got a phone this quickly. Back at the house, our boy walks out of the shower, just in time to see his sister rushing out the door. What's the emergency now? Turns out, Daeyeon woke up super early to make soup for Grandpa and almost made herself late for school. And what did Aijin do? He also got up early to make breakfast for everyone. These two are both trying so hard, in their own ways, to care for their family. It's incredibly sweet. Daeyeon is feeling great, happy that she could do something nice for her grandpa. But danger strikes when she least expects it. A group of masked thugs appears out of nowhere, clearly looking for trouble. And she's their target. And no surprise, the Queen Bee is behind it all. They force Daeyeon to her knees, slap her across the face, and then drag her off to karaoke to de-stress. This has gone way beyond simple bullying. They're crossing a serious line. The staff at the karaoke place just thinks they're a bunch of rowdy kids, screaming their lungs out. Little do they know what's actually happening behind that closed door. We don't see exactly what went down in that karaoke room, but you can guess. Things got ugly, and Daeon was brutally tormented by that pack of vultures. The next day, Daeon is absent from school. The queen bee and her crew are in the classroom, acting all smug and pretending they have no idea why. They really think they got away with it. They have no clue who they just messed with. The final bell rings, and Aijin waits for his sister like he always does. But his mercenary instincts are screaming that something is wrong. He scans the area. The usual after-school chatter feels off, and Daeyeon is nowhere in sight. And just as he feared, she doesn't show. Instead, he gets a call from Grandpa. Daeyeon came home, bruised and battered, claiming she just fell down. The moment he hears this, something in Aijin snaps. The look in his eyes, it's pure predator. Back home, seeing his sister's injuries confirms his worst fears. He calmly patches her up, but you can see the gears turning in his head. He's already calculating, planning. The people who did this are about to learn a very painful lesson. He recalls what Daeyeon told him before about the blonde girl who's been bullying her. All the pieces click into place. He has his target, and now the hunt begins. He makes a call to his contact, his voice cold as ice. I need you to find someone. With that single call, he sets a whole underground network in motion. That bully and her family have no idea what's about to hit them. Back in Dane's room, our boy is gently tending to her wounds. She's still trying to cover for her attackers, making up a lame story about falling off a bike. She has no idea she's talking to a human lie detector. Deep down, Daeyeon knows she can't go to a hospital. They'd immediately see these aren't injuries from a fall. She's trying to protect her family from more trouble. Meanwhile, the culprit, Huijin, is getting questioned by the school and acts like she's the victim. The audacity. Things escalate and they end up at the police station. Daeyeon finally musters the courage to point the finger directly at Huijin. Even with a mask on, she recognized her voice and the way she talked. But Huijin plays dumb, acting shocked and accusing Daeyeon of making it all up just because they aren't friends. And of course, Huijin's mom shows up, and she's a total Karen. She storms into the station, screaming about how they're treating her precious daughter like a criminal. You can see exactly where Huijin gets her attitude from. With no solid proof, Huijin's mom goes on the offensive, demanding Daeyeon apologize to her daughter and even threatening to call Daeyeon's parents. The victim is now being treated like the one at fault. The injustice is infuriating. Daeyeon feels completely hopeless again. She doesn't have proof, and she doesn't want to worry Grandpa. Just as she's about to break, our boy Aijin appears. The moment he sees her, battered and crying, his expression turns deadly serious. He's done letting others handle this. Aijin's medical skills are on full display as he expertly bandages his sister's wounds. It's heartbreaking how good he is at this. He reassures her that he'll make sure Grandpa doesn't worry and tells her to get some rest. That calm demeanor, it's the calm before he unleashes the hurricane. He makes another call to his contact, and this time, there's no room for negotiation. He doesn't just want info on Huijin. He wants everything on her delinquent older brother, Jisoo too. The net is closing in. Meanwhile, over at a place called Club Wolf, the punks that Aijin beat up before are regrouping. They're all salty about their loss and plotting their revenge, completely underestimating the guy who took them all down. These clowns are still convinced they can take him if they just jump him all at once. They're planning to ambush him tomorrow, completely oblivious to the fact that they're not the hunters here. They're the prey. Right on cue, Jisoo gets a call from his little sister, asking him to go teach Daeyeon's brother a lesson. He smirks, thinking this is perfect timing since they were already planning to pay Aijin a visit. He has no idea he's walking right into a trap, but they don't even get the chance to leave, because our boy Aijin decided to bring the fight to them. He walks right into their turf, Club Wolf, completely alone, with that cold, emotionless stare. The absolute nerve of this guy. That's main character energy right there. Jisoo is stunned at first, then furious. Who does this kid think he is, walking into their headquarters? He doesn't get it. For Aijin, the entire world is a potential battlefield, and he just stepped into the kill zone. Surrounded by a dozen thugs, our boy doesn't even flinch. He's not here to mess around. He's here for one person and one person only. He calls Jisoo out by name. The final boss has entered the arena. Jisoo tries to act tough, puffed up by his numbers, but you can see he's intimidated by Aijin's presence. Aijin doesn't waste time with words. The fight is on, and just like that, all hell breaks loose. Aijin moves like a blur, taking down thugs left and right with brutal efficiency. To him, this isn't a fight, it's pest control. In a matter of seconds, the minions are all on the floor, groaning in pain. Our boy stands completely untouched amidst the chaos, his eyes locked onto the final target, Jisoo. The whole brawl was over before it even started. These guys didn't stand a chance. It's a classic case of bringing fists to a gunfight, except Ijin is the gun. Absolute domination. Jisoo is completely dumbfounded. He's just standing there, phone still in hand, watching his entire crew get dismantled by one high school kid. His brain just can't process what he's seeing. Where the hell did he come from? Ijin slowly walks towards him, his voice dangerously low. I thought I told you to leave my sister alone. The temperature in the room just dropped by 20 degrees. The look on his face is terrifying. As Ijin closes in, pure terror finally registers on Jisoo's face. He realizes this isn't some high school squabble. This is life and death. Ijin, using the environment to his advantage, immediately closes the distance and takes control. Jisoo is still trying to talk tough, demanding to know what his sister did. Ijin isn't here for a debate. Jisoo grabs a bottle, but our boy dodges effortlessly and counters, shattering the bottle and Jisoo's confidence in one move. Now completely enraged, Jisoo starts throwing wild punches. But against a master combatant, he's just flailing. Ijin calmly parries and strikes back, landing precise, punishing blows. It's a masterclass in control violence. Jisoo is getting absolutely wrecked, screaming curses as he gets beaten down. And Ijin, he's not even out of breath. He's looking at this guy like he's nothing, thinking about how they dare to lay a hand on his helpless little sister. Ijin's movements are fluid and deadly. A kick, a bottle to the head, a swift takedown. Every move is calculated to neutralize the threat as quickly as possible. This isn't a brawl, it's a tactical operation. With a final, brutal kick, Ijin sends Jisoo crashing to the floor and immediately follows up, pinning him down by the throat. The look of absolute dominance is chilling. If you ever touch my sister again, I'll kill you. He's not shouting. He's barely whispering, and that's what makes it so terrifying. Jisoo can feel the deadly intent behind those words. He's choking, gasping for air, finally understanding he messed with the wrong person. Because I won't hold back next time. With that final, chilling promise, Ijin lets him go and walks away, leaving a room full of broken bodies. He didn't want this fight, but they forced his hand, and they paid the price. Meanwhile, Hui-jin and her little friends are walking down the street, probably on their way to meet her brother. They have no idea what just went down. As they approach the club, they're about to walk right into the aftermath. And who walks out of the club right at that moment? Our boy Ijin. Hui-jin sees him and immediately panics. She starts backing away, still trying to act tough, shouting that he can't prove anything. In her fear, she shoves one of her own friends to the ground. So much for loyalty. But Ijin doesn't even spare her a glance. He just pulls out his phone and calmly calls his grandpa to check in. That complete and utter dismissal is more terrifying than any threat. Hui-jin is left standing there, absolutely frozen with fear. Hui-jin rushes inside and finds her brother and his entire crew beaten to a pulp. She completely loses it. She grabs Jisoo, screaming at him, asking why he's so scared of that transfer student. Her entire world, her sense of power, has just crumbled. Just around the corner, Grandpa is waiting for him. The moment Ijin sees him, that cold, killer aura vanishes, replaced by the gentle demeanor of a grandson. It's only with his family that he can let his guard down and truly be himself. But of course, Hui-jin's family isn't going to let this go. They pull some strings and get Ijin brought to a medical center, trying to pin the blame on him. But when his contacts, the Major and Mr. Kim, arrive, they find our boy playing the part of the victim perfectly, neck brace and all. The acting is top tier. I knew you'd get yourself into trouble again. Mr. Kim says it with a sigh, but they both know Ijin only fights when he has to, especially when it comes to his family. This incident only makes them more curious about who this kid really is. Despite the chaotic turn of events, Ijin's plan worked. He not only delivered a message to the bullies, but also managed the fallout. This is the mind of a top-tier mercenary at work, always thinking 3 steps ahead. The Major reports the incident up the chain of command. It's clear that Ijin's skills and actions are drawing attention from some very powerful people. They're starting to realize this teenager is far more important and dangerous than they initially thought. Back at the office, Mr. Kim is handling the cleanup. He gets on the phone with the real power in the Kim family, Hui-jin and Jisoo's father. The battle is about to move from the streets to the boardroom. Mr. Kim is seriously intrigued now. Just who is this kid, he wonders. On the other side of the city, the powerful chairman of the SW group is also asking questions. The boy who single-handedly took down his security detail has definitely caught his attention. The mother of the 2 spoiled brats storms over to the office, furious, only to find her entire security team knocked out cold. And there's our boy, walking past the wreckage without a scratch, calmly informing the director inside, "Your children may have meddled with the wrong person." The boss energy is off the charts. The woman is still throwing a tantrum, threatening to call the police, the DA, everyone. But the director just looks at her with pity and says, "You have no idea who you're dealing with." That's not just a threat, it's a statement of fact. And then the call comes in. It's the chairman of SW Group himself, the real boss. But he's not calling to threaten. He's calling because he's getting chewed out by someone way above his pay grade. The look of pure shock and fear on his face says it all. He finally understands. His kids messed with someone untouchable. Turns out, the Kim siblings have a nasty hobby. They film themselves bullying and extorting other kids. And yes, they recorded the entire assault on Daeyeon at the karaoke bar. They thought it was a trophy, but now, it's the evidence that's going to bury them. Ijin's connections are no joke. A single phone call was enough to bring the entire SW group to its knees. The chairman sends his right-hand man to negotiate a truce. The power dynamics have completely shifted. Ijin has the man play the video of Dane's assault for everyone to see. The raw, brutal footage silences the room. The mother, who was so loud in arrogant moments before, is now speechless. Checkmate. Ijin makes his stance crystal clear. His actions were a response to their attack on his sister. As a brother, he will do anything to protect his family. His unwavering resolve is palpable, and everyone in that room understands he is not to be trifled with. They offer money, a settlement, a forced apology. But Ijin knows that's all meaningless. He cuts through the crap and makes his one and only demand. "I want your children out of my sister's life. Permanently." The final verdict is delivered. The chairman agrees to send his kids abroad to study. But Ijin isn't asking, he's telling. Have them gone by tomorrow. The absolute power move. He has this entire wealthy family completely under his thumb. As a final measure, Ijin demands the original files of all the bullying videos. The assistant, trying to negotiate, looks into Ijin's eyes and freezes. He sees the look of a stone-cold killer and immediately caves. That gaze is not something you argue with. With the evidence secured, Ijin's mission is complete. Mr. Kim watches him leave, marveling at the sheer capability of this kid. He's a living weapon, but all that power is dedicated to one thing: protecting his family. Back home, Ijin checks on his sister. "You won't have to fall down the stairs ever again," he tells her. Daeyeon is confused, but she understands the underlying message. Her brother took care of everything. That quiet promise is all the reassurance she needs. The next day, it's business as usual. Ijin walks his sister to her classroom. As Daeyeon steps inside, she immediately notices the atmosphere is different. Everyone is whispering. And then she hears the news. The teacher announced that Hui-jin and her brother have withdrawn from school to study abroad. The entire class is buzzing. For Daeyeon, everything clicks into place. She finally understands what her brother meant. He didn't just solve the problem, he removed it. She runs out of the classroom and sees Ijin walking away. She wants to say something, thank him, ask him how, but the words won't come out. All she can feel is this overwhelming sense of gratitude and awe. Having a brother like him, it's the ultimate cheat code for life. Meanwhile, the ripple effect of Ijin's actions is already spreading like wildfire through the school's social circles. The girls are gathered, and the news about Hui-jin is the only thing on their minds. Is it true she's moving overseas? All of a sudden, she never said anything. Turns out, the teacher made a formal announcement to the class, so it's official. But one of them has some insider info, and it's juicy. She pulls up a text from Hui-jin, who said her mom was going to end someone's life. Now the girl is freaking out, thinking this is all her fault. These so-called friends aren't exactly heartbroken, admitting that while she's a pain, she was also their fattiest wallet. And speak of the devil, Hui-jin herself shows up, looking totally done with everything. Cornered, she admits it's true. It all just sort of happened. Yeah, happened is one way to put it. So what's the real story behind this sudden study abroad trip? We cut to the family meeting. There's Hui-jin's brother, Jisoo Kim, looking defeated in a wheelchair. This isn't a vacation, it's a temporary exile. The plan is to lay low for a semester and come back. And the leverage holding this all together? A video that absolutely cannot see the light of day. Back with Hui-jin, the humiliation and frustration are finally boiling over. She's replaying the beatdown in her head, furious that her family solution is to ship her off to save face. The pressure is too much, and she just snaps. Meanwhile, our boy Ijin is completely unbothered, just chilling in his own classroom like nothing happened. He glances at his phone. It's a text from Daeyeon. Looks like her friends are walking her home today, so his protection services aren't needed. And since he's suddenly got some free time, his new buddy Yangshan spots an opportunity. "Hey man, since you're free, want to hang out after school?" To everyone's surprise, our boy actually agrees. Look at him, making friends and everything. Little does he know, The whole class is already buzzing with rumors about him. The whispers are getting louder. He's the reason Jisoo Kim is gone. I heard he took down his whole crew by himself. The legend of Ijin is officially born. And look at this guy, the blondie who got his but saved by Ijin, now acting all tough and taking credit. The irony is delicious. He even invites Yangshan to celebrate. But plot twist. Yangshan already has plans with the real hero of the story. But then, a girl corners Yangshan, looking pretty intense. She's heard about their plans to hang out with Ijin, and she is not having it, unless she can come too. Poor Yangshan is panicking under pressure as she basically forces her way into the group. The fangirling is real. The deal is done. She walks away all smug and confident, while Yangshan is left a nervous wreck. The dread is palpable. He looks absolutely terrified of this outing now. What is he so afraid of? But hold on, the school drama isn't over. The teacher introduces 2 new transfer students, and these aren't just any kids. The girl is the granddaughter of the chairman of SW Group, the biggest corporation in the country. And the guy with her? That's Seok-ju Ko, her personal bodyguard and assistant, trained since childhood. To prepare for the big hangout, Ijin is getting a crash course on Korean high school culture. First stop, the PC Bang. It's a place where you pay to use computers, and for high schoolers, that means one thing: gaming. Over 90% of them are there to play. And who's his coach for this critical mission? His old military contact, the Major. He's breaking down Legends of League like it's a military operation, complete with tactical analysis. Look at him, taking this more seriously than an actual war. The dedication is insane. The training doesn't stop there. Next on the agenda, coin karaoke. His contact is even prepping him with a list of popular songs among his peers. This guy is the ultimate wingman, making sure Ijin doesn't just survive school, but actually fits in. The bell rings, and the mission is a go. Ijin looks ready for this ultimate challenge. As everyone leaves, we see the new transfer girl, the SW Group heiress, standing there with her arms crossed, looking all serious. She's definitely got her eye on someone. And here we go. The heiress and her bodyguard are discussing their target, Ijin Yu. They've done their homework. They know he's Dane's brother, the one presumed dead for 10 years who just magically reappeared. The timing is way too suspicious for them. As our boy heads to the PC Bang, his friends are already in the group chat, hyping up Yangshan for carrying them. They finally meet up, and the praise continues. Yangshan just carried us through the whole game, and he cleared all of Ijin's shit. Poor Ijin, a master of combat, but a total noob at gaming. The fangirling is intense. Turns out Yangshan is a challenger-level player, the highest rank you can get. His friends are practically bowing down, offering him snacks and drinks. And our boy Ijin, just watching from the sidelines as the group chat roasts him for his bad plays. Tough scene. Taking a break from the gaming chaos, Ijin steps out and runs into Yuna, who just went on a snack run for the crew. He offers to help carry the bags, like a true gentleman, but she just laughs it off. It's a sweet, normal interaction. Maybe this high school thing isn't so bad after all. The next day at school, the plot thickens. The SW heiress, Yona, is talking to Daeyeon. Turns out they're old friends. Yona drops the bomb that she's in Ijin's class and casually asks, "You never told me you had a brother." Daeyeon then has to explain the whole tragic story. They thought he died in the plane crash 10 years ago. We get a flashback to the moment the family found out. The grandpa gets the call, his voice trembling with emotion. "Your brother? Ijin is alive." But Yona's question hangs in the air, the same one everyone is thinking. How come you didn't know for all these years? Daeyeon provides the official story. Ijin had amnesia from the accident and only recently started remembering his family. It's a clean explanation. She talks about how overjoyed their grandpa was so much so that he took cooking classes just to make up for all the years of missed home-cooked meals. It's incredibly sweet. But Yona isn't buying the fairy tale story. She cuts right to the chase with a cold, logical question. Did you get a DNA test? Look at Daeyeon's face, completely caught off guard. She's so happy to have her brother back. The thought of questioning his identity never even crossed her mind. Yona's expression says it all. She's dead serious about this. And while she's planting seeds of doubt with Daeyeon, her bodyguard Seok-ju is making his move. He corners Ijin in the hallway and straight up accuses him. "Your school records are fake." Seok-ju lays out his case, but our boy doesn't even flinch. He just calmly asks, "And you have proof of this?" This throws Seok-ju for a loop. Ijin's complete lack of fear is making Seok-ju question if he's the one who's made a mistake. Ijin flips the script, asking Seok-ju why he's being investigated. Seok-ju gives a righteous answer about protecting Yona. Ijin just turns and walks away, saying that's my answer. It's a total power move. Seok-ju smirks, thinking Aijin's evasiveness is a confession. Oh, you have no idea who you're messing with. Back in the classroom, it's business as usual. The guys are getting ready for another gaming session, calling out to their ace player, Yangshan. The little friend group is solidifying, completely unaware of the corporate-level drama unfolding around them. Later, Aijin does some digging of his own, and bingo, he finds out SW Corporation is running a deep background check on him. He immediately connects the dots. It's too thorough for a simple transfer student. His suspicion lands squarely on the new duo. But at home, he slips back into the role of a normal grandson. He offers to go to the store and walk Daeyeon home, giving his grandpa a break. It's these small, domestic moments that show what he's fighting for. He's not just a mercenary, he's a brother. Meanwhile, Daeyeon and Yona are having a heart-to-heart. Yona asks why Daeyeon isn't considering studying abroad. Daeyeon's answer is pure gold. Her grandpa's health isn't great, and she could never leave him all alone. She's such a good kid. Hearing this, Yona looks conflicted. She's clearly fond of Daeyeon. We cut to her and Seokju discussing their findings. He confirms it again. Aijin's school records are 100% fake. There's no trace of him ever being enrolled. But now their motives diverge. Yona is furious. His records are fake, and she's living with him. You expect me to stay quiet just because she seems okay for now. She's adamant. Daeyeon has the right to know the truth for her own safety. And then Yona drops another piece of intel. She knows Daeyeon has been severely bullied for a while. This adds a whole new layer. As they talk, we see our boy waiting outside in the street, completely unaware he's the topic of this intense debate. And just like that, the hunter becomes the hunted. Aijin isn't just waiting, he's waiting for them. He confronts Seokju, and it dawns on the bodyguard. Aijin knew they would try to talk to Daeyeon, so he was there to intercept. This dude is always 3 steps ahead. Seokju, being the trained bodyguard he is, decides to handle this with his fists. Big mistake. Huge. Aijin effortlessly dodges his attack and sends him flying with a single kick. The difference in skill level is just comical. Seokju hits the ground, completely stunned. He's never faced anyone like this. And that look in Aijin's eyes, pure predator. But while he's focused on Seokju, disaster strikes in the background. Someone grabs Yona. A much bigger threat was lurking in the shadows. Instinct takes over. Aijin immediately gives chase. He grabs a winded Seokju by the collar, his face a mask of fury. You bastard. He needs to know one thing, and he needs to know now. Was this your doing? Realizing Seokju isn't behind this, Aijin switches to mission mode. He's on the phone, alerting authorities, ordering surveillance tracking. He tells Seokju to stay with him to identify the perps. But when Seokju suggests teamwork, Aijin shuts him down. I'll find her on my own. Seokju, battered and bruised, finally accepts the truth. Aijin isn't the enemy here. Now, they have a common goal. First step, they need a ride. And as they figure out their next move, we cut to a smoky bar and a mysterious man with white hair. Looks like we found our real villain. Meanwhile, in a completely different part of town, things are getting tense at the SW Corporation. Some guy just barges into an executive's office, surprising the hell out of her. It's clear the news about the kidnapping is out, but she's not backing down. She wants her grandfather to hold the line and not give in to the threats. And we cut back to that shady bar. The villainess with the eye patch drops a chilling line. That way, Yeona Vildi. Just as the title card hits, we see who our boy Aijin is here to meet. The man with the cigarette is Dusik Cha, a major player in organized crime. And Aijin knows exactly who he is. Dusik cuts right to the chase. What do you want? So Aijin, looking like he just went 10 rounds, gets right down to business. He tells the big boss he's got nothing to do with the SW Corp kidnapping. But then he drops the bomb that changes everything. My sister was taken too. Okay, now it's personal. And what do you know, Dusik actually has a solid lead. He recalls some guys with broken Korean trying to hire him for a sketchy job. They needed an untraceable warehouse, a burned car, and extra hands. He knew it smelled fishy and turned it down, but he points Aijin in the right direction, mentioning another gang in Incheon is probably involved. Back on the street, our boy has somehow already got his hands on a motorcycle. He's ready to roll. Seokju, however, is skeptical, questioning if he's really going to chase down such a weak lead. But Aijin lays it out with cold, mercenary logic. Yona is the prize. They'll keep her safe. His sister, on the other hand, she's disposable. Look at Seokju's face. He's finally realizing Aijin operates on a completely different level. No time to waste. Aijin gives Seokju his orders. Give the information to the security team. Follow me in a car. And before Seokju can even argue, with a screech of tires, he's gone. Our boy doesn't wait for backup. Meanwhile, inside the kidnapper's den, we finally see the girls. Yona and Aijin's sister, Daeyeon, are being held together. Poor Daeyeon is just now realizing she wasn't the target. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And here come the thugs, masks and all, telling them to stay quiet. Yona quickly connects the dots. This is all leverage against her grandpa and SW Corporation. But then things get dark. The goons decide Daeyeon is useless and talk about getting rid of her. But Yona is not having it. Look at her, stepping up to protect Daeyeon. I won't let you harm her in any way. This girl's got guts. The main thug finds her defiance amusing. A girl like you would sacrifice herself to save someone else? He sneers, getting right in her face and telling her to bite her tongue and die. And holy crap, she actually does it, bites her tongue, drawing blood. The look in her eyes is pure steel. She is not backing down. Back outside the container yard, Ijin has arrived, and Seokju has caught up. Seokju confirms the SW security team tracked the van to this exact location. This is the place. Logically, they should wait for backup, but we all know our boy Ijin doesn't do waiting. Back at SW Corp, the situation is escalating. The kidnappers have made their demands, and it's not about money. They want the corporation to terminate a contract, or Yona dies. This just got a whole lot more complicated. It's corporate warfare. And we're back to the action. Looks like Ijin and Seokju decided not to wait after all. They are absolutely tearing through these low-level thugs. Pow! Thwack! It's a total beatdown. With the grunts taken care of, our duo takes a breath. Ijin immediately presses Seokju for info on who's behind this. Seokju, full of regret, admits this is all his fault. But Ijin's already a step ahead, realizing the real boss must be inside with Yona. Time for the main event. Ijin breaks down the kidnapper's plan, then notices Seokju's injury. Seokju brushes it off, saying it's from the car crash. As Ijin starts to say something else, Seokju cuts him off, asking where the thugs they just took down went. Speak of the devil, the thugs are getting back up, looking pissed. What, did they take a group dump? Seokju jokes, but there's no time for banter. Ijin launches himself back into the fray with a flying kick. Round 2 begins. The commotion outside has alerted the kidnappers inside. Ijin makes a call. We should move separately. They'll have heard the noise. He immediately heads off, calling for his sister. He's got to get to her now. Ijin appears at the entrance, and the kidnappers inside just laugh. What? It's just some little kid. They mock him, telling him he's got bad luck. Little do they know, they're the ones whose luck just ran out. The fight is intense. One of the masked women remarks, trained since he was a kid. Still, this is impressive. But the other cuts in coldly. This isn't a sparring session, however. Hearing that, Ijin's instinct screamed that something is wrong. And just like that, they pull out knives. You didn't think we would fight empty-handed, did you? The leader smirks, planning to finish this before the security team arrives. All hell breaks loose. Ijin takes a deep cut, hindering his movement. Seeing their chance, the kidnappers decide to take care of the useless girl on the spot. The look of terror on Dane's and Yona's faces says it all. The masked leader gives the final order. Take Jonas in and just kill the other two. And the operative, the red-haired girl who was pretending to be a hostage, responds without hesitation. Yes, sir. What a twist. But just in the nick of time, Seokju smashes through the door. He's stunned by the carnage inside. Bodies on the floor, blood everywhere. And look at our boy Ijin. His face is a mask of pure, cold fury. Let's check back in with Dusik Cha. He's explaining to his subordinate that because of Ijin's sister getting kidnapped, he had to make a move against the Gozeon cartel, messing up their plans involving some politician. This whole situation is spiraling into a massive gang war. Dusik lights a cigarette, musing that there was nothing he could do when they kidnapped that poor kid's little sister. Meanwhile, our boy Ijin is walking out of the darkness and into the light, his expression set with grim determination. The moment Ijin steps into the room, everyone freezes. The girls are in disbelief, especially Yona, who immediately recognizes him. Ijin, you. The shock is real. The kidnapper leader pauses, hearing brother, through his earpiece. A twisted smile spreads across his face. The brothers come looking for his kidnapped sister? This is priceless. But Ijin only has eyes for one person. Daeyeon, he asks softly, are you hurt? The girls are terrified for him, screaming at him to get out, that it's too dangerous. Yona is blaming herself for everything. This is exactly what the head villain wants to see. He tells Ijin to let the others go, curious to see what our boy will do. Even facing a knife, our boy Ijin hasn't flinched at all. The female operative is shocked by his composure. Even in a situation like this, he hasn't panicked. She realizes he's something else entirely. The standoff is about to break. And it's on. A blur of motion and steel as Ijin engages the enemy operative in a brutal knife fight. He's fast, precise, And even though he's already injured, his eyes are sharp as daggers. This is the skill of a true mercenary. The big dude is completely stunned. How can this kid be better with a knife than I am? He thinks, right before Aijin exploits an opening and takes him down in a bloody flash. He never stood a chance. But just when you think it's over, the game changes. After being disarmed of his knife, the thug pulls out a freaking gun. The girls gasp in terror. And Aijin looks absolutely furious. He pulled a gun? Big mistake. Aijin moves like lightning, closing the distance before the guy can even get a clean shot. It's a brutal, close-quarters beatdown. Thwack. KBM. The guy is completely dismantled. He brought a gun to a knife fight with a master. The fight is over. Covered in blood, Aijin walks towards his sister and Yona. As they watch him step through the carnage, the looks on Yona's and Siakju's faces say it all. Just who is this guy? He finally reaches his sister. The cold killer persona melts away, replaced by a gentle smile. I came to take you, he says softly. Daeyeon is completely stunned, staring at the brother who just tore through hell to save her. The next day, we find our boy at the SW Seoul Medical Center. With a band-aid on his face, he's just chilling in the waiting area when he gets a text from a classmate asking why he's not at school. Time to come up with a cover story. He's not just running an errand, though. The sign on the door says it all, Psychiatry Department. A stark reminder that even though he's a one-man army, the years he spent as a mercenary left deep, invisible scars. Flashing back to last night, we see the aftermath at the warehouse. Cops and paramedics are everywhere. And in the middle of it all, Aijin is calmly taking charge, ordering them to take Yona to the hospital for a checkup. He's got everything arranged. The man is a professional. Back in the present at the hospital, Yona explains to Aijin and Daeyeon that she knew Daeyeon was having a rough time with some bullies at school. She thought talking might help. Everyone's carrying their own burdens. Aijin and Daeyeon emerge from their consultations. Daeyeon says the doctor told her she's fine, just needs weekly check-ins. She asks about him, and he plays it cool, saying he's mostly okay. But you can see the worry on her face. A quick flashback to the traumatic event, with Daeyeon screaming for Aijin to run. These memories aren't going to fade easily. Our boy just internalizes it all, carrying the weight for everyone. Meanwhile, the SW security team is debriefing, and they are absolutely baffled. They can't believe Aijin single-handedly took down a dozen kidnappers. The fact that he's the same age as Miss Yona just makes it more unbelievable. The kid is an enigma. Just then, Yona walks up. She asks how their consultations went and thanks Aijin for arranging free treatment for her. It's clear she's becoming more and more curious. What kind of life did you have before you came back to Korea? Yona feels incredibly guilty and keeps apologizing for getting Daeyeon dragged into this mess. Daeyeon tries to comfort her, saying she's fine. Aijin listens quietly, knowing they were both victims here. They also drop in to see Siakju, who's recovering in a hospital bed. When Yona, the rich heiress, personally comes to apologize to him, the poor guy is so flustered he can barely string his sentence together. As they're leaving the hospital, they run into none other than Yona's grandfather, the chairman of SW Group himself. The old man gives Aijin a long, searching look. It seems our boy has officially appeared on the big boss's radar. Later, in the chairman's office, the security chief is giving his report. Their analysis of the incident is mind-blowing. They conclude Aijin is not just experienced, but he fought with incredible restraint, disabling everyone without a single kill. His level of control is almost inhuman. Based on Siakju's report and the state of the attackers, they can only come to one conclusion. Aijin Yu is a seasoned combat professional. The chairman and Yona are floored by this revelation. Meanwhile, Aijin is just quietly walking home with his family. As the sun sets, Daeyeon asks him if he's starting to get the hang of it lately. Aijin looks confused, so she clarifies what family feels like. That question really makes our boy stop and think. He remembers Yona's words at the hospital, how she was so glad he was okay. This feeling of being cared for, it's all new to him. He's finally starting to understand what it means to have a family. Meanwhile, back at SW Corp, the female exec from before is getting a report. Not only was Siakju's performance impressive, but the rumors about his classmate, our boy Aijin, are even more extraordinary. Yep, he's definitely caught the attention of the higher-ups. It's confirmed. The chairman himself has taken an interest in this classmate. And where's our boy right now? At home, pushing his body to the limit with intense training. The memories of his past battles flash through his mind. This is how he copes, how he keeps the demons at bay. His intense workout startles Daeyeon, but his grandfather seems unfazed, just eating his meal calmly. This blend of extreme discipline and quiet family life has become Aijin's new normal. At the dinner table, His grandpa reassures him, telling him not to worry about other things and that he'll handle whatever comes up. He senses the weight on Aijin's shoulders and is offering his support in his own quiet way. The old man is wise. He tells Aijin he understands there are bad things happening at school that he can't talk about, just as there are things from his own past he can't share. They both have their secrets, and they respect that boundary. Suddenly, Daeyeon takes a phone call and quickly leaves, telling Aijin not to worry. But for our boy, any deviation from the norm is a potential threat. He casually eats his popsicle, but you can see his senses are on high alert. Turns out, it was Yona who called. She meets with Aijin and starts by apologizing again for what happened to Daeyeon, saying Seokju will also come by later. Then she gets to the point. She's here to pick up Daeyeon. Yona comes clean. She admits they were investigating his background because all his documents were forged. But after the kidnapping, she realized something crucial. He wouldn't have come to save Daeyeon if he was planning to hurt her. So, she declares they're dropping the investigation. With that settled, Aijin is ready to leave. But Yona stops him, saying her grandpa wants to meet him. Aijin's response is ice cold. No need. I wasn't there to rescue you in the first place. And with that, he walks away, leaving her speechless. But trouble has a way of finding him. On his way home, a bloodied man confronts him, blaming him for the mess with Congressman Kim and the Gozeon cartel. It seems the fallout from his previous actions is just beginning. Cut to a club where a full-blown war is raging. Dusik Cha is surrounded, bodies littering the floor. The rival boss taunts him, "You're looking good, Dusik Cha. But why don't you give up before you make a fool out of yourself?" Dusik is furious, accusing the other guy of breaking the code by bringing his whole crew. The trash talk escalates quickly, setting the stage for an all-out brawl. And with the order to charge, the two gangs collide in a symphony of violence. Bats swinging, fists flying, it's absolute chaos. A true turf war. Dusik Cha is a beast, but he's hopelessly outnumbered. He and his men are getting overwhelmed by the sheer number of enemies, taking hit after brutal hit. They just keep coming and coming, he thinks, struggling to his feet. He realizes this might be the end for him. Gritting his teeth, he braces for one last stand. Just as Dusik braces for the end, thinking about the kid and his sister, the roar of a motorcycle cuts through the chaos. A figure on a bike smashes into the room, sending a thug flying with a massive BM. The gangsters are stunned. Who the hell is this? And the gangsters are absolutely floored. Their leader, this roided-up dude, is screaming, "The hell are you?" as his buddy tries to hold him back from doing something stupid. But while our boy is about to clean house, let's rewind a bit, because his friends are dealing with their own major crisis elsewhere. Turns out, they got tangled up with some bullies from another school. The girl in the orange jacket, clearly the leader here, is like, "Let's go before we get more trouble." The guy she's with is still shook, muttering, "I didn't think he'd help me like that. And where did these bullies come from? Looks like some kind of PC cafe." The vibe is tense. The main bully, this blonde dude, is clearly pissed off about what just went down. Yep, they're definitely gathering their goons. Look at these guys, all serious faces and headsets. They're about to cause some major problems for our crew. And just like that, the confrontation is happening outside. Aijin's friends are cornered. One of them is already trembling, like, what do we do?" while the other bravely takes the blame. But the bullies are just mocking them, enjoying their fear. Wham! The red-haired dude isn't taking their crap and throws the first punch. But you can see the guilt on the kid they were protecting. "This is all my fault." But the girl in orange is having none of that self-pity. She drops a badass line. They're the ones who should be sorry. And get this, she's totally blushing, thinking about how cool our boy Aijin looked when he said something similar. The fangirling is real. The bullies mock her for the line, and that's the last straw. It's an all-out brawl. Couple. Thud. They're not holding back. This is getting ugly. The main blonde bully lands a massive hit boom. Our boy's friends are in deep trouble here. And even in the middle of the fight, the red-haired dude has a hilarious thought. How come when Aijin knocks them out in one hit, they just jump back up like zombies when I do it? Ha! The skill gap is real, my man. The bullies just keep coming. They charge again, and our friends are getting absolutely battered, taking hit after hit. It's a brutal slugfest, and they're clearly on the losing end. Everyone is taking a beating. The dust settles, and everyone's looking beat up. They're arguing about who should have done what, but it's clear they barely survived that encounter. And just then, who strolls down the stairs, phone in hand? Our boy Aijin, completely oblivious. He's just been wondering where everyone went. "You missed all the action," his friend says. Understatement of the year. His friends try to play it cool, bragging about how they totally won a 3-on-6 fight. But as they turn the corner, bam, they see the entire enemy crew laid out, completely unconscious. They're speechless. And who's responsible? Not them. It's this new blonde kid in a different uniform. He just casually explains, I came up to find you, but they just jumped me when they saw my uniform. Our boys' friends are just standing there, jaws on the floor. A new powerhouse has entered the chat. Later in the cafeteria, everyone's starving. The new blonde kid is now part of the crew, and they're all laughing about how the Goziok Tech idiots got what they deserved. The banter continues. They're making fun of the gangster shit the other guys try to pull. It's a rare moment of just normal, funny high school life for our crew. But the mood shifts when they turn to Yangshan, the kid who was being bullied. Everyone starts giving him advice, telling him he has to stand up for himself. If they think you won't fight back, people like that will eat you alive, Aijin's friend says, echoing Aijin's own philosophy. You have to fight back, or you'll be labeled as an easy target. And this talk about survival triggers a flashback for our boy Aijin. We see a glimpse of his past, a young, blonde Aijin, eating scraps in a war zone. The flashbacks get more intense. We see the unfiltered violence, the struggle for every meal. This is the world that shaped him, a world where not fighting back meant death. No wonder he's so quiet and deadly. Snapping out of his dark memories, the conversation in the cafeteria takes an unexpected turn. Yangshan, the quiet kid, finally speaks up, not to the bullies, but to his own friends. He tells them their jokes were just another form of violence, and it hurt. He's trying what they told him to do, speak up, and damn, the courage that took. And it hits them hard. They immediately realize he's right and start apologizing sincerely. This is some real character growth right here. But then, Aijin, in his own socially awkward, ex-mercenary way, decides to contribute. He takes the spilled food, and with a swift move, splat. He demonstrates something. The others are just horrified, yelling, "Don't eat that OFF the ground." Our boy has zero social skills, and it's both hilarious and sad. Meanwhile, in the sleek corporate world of SW Corp, a new plotline is brewing. We see Aijin's sister, Yona, being confronted by another woman. The woman is pissed. "Why did you run a background check on Aijin?" his sister demands. The other woman admits she did, but claims she stopped. The tension is thick. Everyone is suspicious of our boy. But she's lying. She smugly reveals she's about to get Aijin sealed records because she's obsessed with knowing his real identity. But his sister stands firm. Aijin saved me, and that's enough. The loyalty is real. She's not going to let them dig into his past. Just as she's about to listen to the files, a call comes in. Higher-ups have shut it down. Orders from the top. Cease all investigation into YU Aijin. They then reveal his official story. Sole survivor of a plane crash, finally reunited with his family. While this corporate drama unfolds, we see a cute scene of Aijin at home with his grandpa and sister. The contrast is everything. Back at school, the vibe is weird. Everyone's staring at Aijin. His friends are wondering where he's been, and the rich girl he saved is just watching him. Super awkward. And why is she here? Because her grandpa, the chairman of the whole SW Corporation, is at school. And he's here for one person, our boy Aijin. He came to thank him personally since Aijin refused his other offers. Aijin, being Aijin, is just like, "No need for that. I was only trying to rescue my sister." He tries to just walk away, but the old man isn't letting him off that easy. Look at that little smile on Aijin's face, though. He's slowly learning. The chairman's persistence seems to remind him of another time. We see a flashback of him trying to thank someone else 3 years ago. It seems this is a recurring theme for him. Back in the present, the chairman doesn't just want to thank him. He has a proposition. "I want to hear your thoughts on our security team," he says. He's basically asking a high school kid to audit his elite bodyguards. The audacity and the respect. He knows our boy is the real deal. This whole situation triggers another memory for Aijin. The chairman's gratitude reminds him of someone else from his past, someone who was grateful before they died. And we're pulled into a deep flashback. A younger Aijin, masked and armed, working as a mercenary protecting a Korean volunteer worker. This man is one of the few people who treats him with kindness, seeing the young kid underneath the gear and asking if he's even a teenager. While his fellow mercs mock the client's idealistic projects, Aijin quietly observes the man's genuine concern. The volunteer even gives him chocolate, a small taste of a normal life that Aijin probably hasn't had in years. Just before Aijin leaves for his next mission, the man tells him to visit again, that he'll miss him. This kindness, as the man explains, is because Aijin reminds him of his own child back home. But the next thing Aijin hears is that the town was taken over by rebels and most of the volunteers were killed. You can see the pain this caused. This is the kindness he fought to protect, and it was destroyed. This is the weight our boy carries every single day. Back in the present, still reeling from that memory, his friends approach to apologize properly. And then, the rich girl, Yona, hesitantly asks him, "I know you're going to say no, but..." But before we can see his answer, we cut to the SW Corp security offices. One of the top agents is fuming. Who the hell is this kid they're bringing in? And standing right in the doorway, cool as ever, our boy says, I'm him. The absolute Chad energy. So, our boy accepts the chairman's offer. We cut to the elite security team's locker room, and he looks completely out of place. The team leader briefs him, but you can already feel the skepticism from the team. They're all wondering why a high school kid wants to experience being a bodyguard. He's formally introduced to the entire team. When they find out he's the kid who handled the kidnapping, the disbelief is written all over their faces. Faced with a room full of hardened professionals, our boy just gives a simple bow. Oh, you sweet summer children. You have no idea who you're dealing with. And of course, Yona is there to watch her man. I mean, her bodyguard in training. She looks just as surprised as everyone else that he actually showed up. The training begins with a light run. The pros are clearly trying to smoke the high school kid out early, pushing the pace. But after what feels like a million laps, the pros are sweating bullets, about to pass out, while our boy hasn't even broken a sweat. He's built different. Next up, rope climbing. Aijin flies up like he has wings. The guards are floored, whispering amongst themselves. Did he already train somewhere before? He's too perfect. He's too perfect. They can't handle the disrespect. One of them finally steps up and challenges him to a sparring match, demanding to test him for real. You expect me to let you spar with a high schooler? The instructor asks, but the guy insists. Faced with the challenge, our boy simply says, I don't mind. The calm before the storm. The sparring match is set up. Everyone is tense. The security chief is thinking, most of these men are former special forces. How long will this kid last? Big mistake. The opponent comes out swinging, all arrogant, thinking he's about to teach this punk a lesson he'll never forget. But Aijin is a different species. He dodges the first flurry of attacks with inhuman ease. He's moving so fast that Yona can barely follow, shocked by the intensity. You're not supposed to go that hard in sparring, she thinks. This isn't sparring. It's an execution. Aijin's movements are precise, brutal, and aimed to neutralize. He struck precisely where the face was left exposed. The observers note in horror. This isn't boxing. This is combat. Bam! One clean shot to the jaw. The guard is down. TKO. The helmet is cracked. Everyone is silent, completely shook. They finally understand. This wasn't a training exercise. It was a test, and they were the ones being graded. The dread on their faces says it all. Is that kid really 19? Perhaps this was his intention all along. Just when everyone is still picking their jaws up off the floor, another challenger steps up. This guy, Byung-sik Choi, saw Aijin's skills and is actually excited to test him. The others are like, dude, are you serious? Isn't it bad enough that we lost to this kid once? Before the match, someone asks, aren't we using headgear? But look at our boy. He just gives this little smirk and casually tosses the helmet aside. The confidence is just radiating off him. He doesn't need it. And the fight is on. The guard is thinking to himself, there's no telling what kind of rigorous training this kid has been through. But nothing could have prepared him for this. Oh, the irony. Our boy moves like a ghost, effortlessly dodging his opponent's strikes. Then, POW, he lands a clean shot. The guard is stunned, admitting, you pack a stronger punch than I expected. Dude, you have no idea. The exchange gets more intense. Wham! Bam! Aijin is just weaving through his opponent's defenses, blocking and countering effortlessly. He's practically toying with him. And then, thud, it's over. Another one bites the dust. Our boy didn't even break a sweat. Look at the faces of the spectators, pure shock and awe. With two guys down, Aijin casually asks, anyone else like to go? You could hear a pin drop. The instructor steps in, trying to save face like, hey, you shouldn't go for the neck or knees when you're sparring. And our boy, with the most innocent face, replies, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware there were rules. He's trolling them, and it's glorious. Seeing this absolute demolition, the director decides his basic training is more than complete. She's like, all right, you want to experience real security duties? It's time to see what it feels like to be a real bodyguard. The game is about to get real. Back at home, Grandpa is worried about Aijin being out late. So wholesome. But meanwhile, back at the SW facility, the guards who got there but's handed to them are getting an earful from their superior, who calls them a disgrace to the profession. This red-haired dude is furious, promising to train them like never before. Across the building, our boy Aijin, now suited up, walks down the hall. The tension is rising as he heads out for his first real assignment. And so the first real mission begins. It's a full-on motorcade, straight out of movie. Turns out, Aijin's first assignment is to protect the very director who recruited him. He's instructed to get in the back, sitting right next to the director. This is up close and personal security. The moment he's in the car, our boy is already in tactical mode, analyzing the number of guards in the surrounding vehicles. Meanwhile, the others in the car start discussing him, with the director pondering if he'd ever considered a career in entertainment. The director seems intrigued, asking if he's genuinely interested in being a bodyguard and commenting on how easily he took down the security team during training. They're impressed that he didn't get arrogant after his win. The other guy agrees, noting his precise judgment. They're realizing he's not just a brawler, he's a strategist. The security chief comments that those kinds of tactics aren't taught. They're the kind of skills you learn on the streets. And that one word, streets, sends Aijin into a flashback. We get a glimpse of his past, not the streets of Seoul, but the battlefields of a war zone. Dashing, jumping, fighting for his life, and saving a comrade in a hail of gunfire. This is where he truly learned his skills. And just as he's lost in thought, BM, a truck slams right into them. It's an ambush. But even that split second, Aijin's instincts take over. Look at that. He instantly moves to cover the director, shielding her from the impact. The other guards are in disbelief. He managed to cover her in that split second before impact? Yes, he did. Because for him, this is just another Tuesday. After the chaos, the director tells Aijin he should get checked for injuries. But then she adds, I think you should wear your seatbelt from now on, even when you're in the back seat. It's her way of showing she's genuinely concerned. A small moment of connection. And we're back to the quiet life. Aijin's sister is making lunch for their grandpa, who now has a part-time job, and she makes sure to set a portion aside for Aijin too. She mentions she hasn't visited their grandpa at work much since Aijin came back. So, she decides to tag along with Aijin to deliver the food. A rare moment of sibling bonding is on the horizon. Meanwhile, at Grandpa's workplace, he's happily sharing snacks with his coworker. It's a peaceful day. Little does he know, trouble is just around the corner. While the family shares a heartwarming lunch, our antagonist of the day arrives. A muscle-bound jerk in a yellow sports car gets annoyed that Grandpa's cart is blocking his path and starts making a scene. This guy is the worst. To show off, he scoffs at the old man, lifts the entire heavy cart with one hand, and slams it down. Just a complete meathead trying to intimidate an elderly man. To top it off, the jerk's girlfriend has him throw their trash on the ground right in front of Grandpa. But who should arrive at that exact moment? Our boy Aijin and his sister. They see the whole thing. Aijin doesn't say a word, just quietly picks up the trash. The calm before the storm. They go over and greet their grandpa, acting like nothing's wrong. When the sister asks if he was sorting the recycling, Aijin immediately offers to help. Such good kids. They all sit down and have the lunch his sister prepared. It's such a heartwarming scene. Look at them smiling. Aijin is finally getting to experience a normal family life. From a distance, Grandpa's coworkers watch them, remarking how Aijin looks like an average teenager when he smiles. They had no idea he even could. That's the power of family. After lunch, the kids say goodbye, and Grandpa heads back to work, already thinking about picking up snacks for them on his way home. So pure. You just wish this peace could last forever. But the peace doesn't last long. That evening, the yellow car douchebag is back, blocking the way again. Grandpa confronts him, explaining that he can't park there because it's hazardous for the children. The guy and his equally trashy girlfriend start mocking the old man about his salary. And then he crosses the line. He grabs Grandpa by the collar. Big mistake. You have no idea whose family you just messed with. All right, new day. Back at the SW Corporation, the director is still concerned about Aijin after that car crash. She's asking her subordinate about his checkup, worried about delayed symptoms. She's also worried about the potential PR nightmare if the media finds out a high schooler was injured on their watch. Meanwhile, back at school, life goes on. His friend checks in on him, asking how he's doing after his first day. His friend points out that Aijin seemed to be holding back during the training session compared to his first beatdown. He correctly guesses Aijin is continuing the security work to better protect his family, especially his sister, Yona. The friend also notes that Aijin's skills look professionally trained. Aijin deflects, saying he learned it on the streets, but we see a flashback of his biggest failure, the time his sister was kidnapped on his watch. That's his real motivation. Just then, the student council president, Yona Sin, approaches him for a talk. Looks like something important is about to go down. Turns out, Aijin is now assigned to be her bodyguard, disguised as a classmate. And for their first mission, she takes him to a convenience store for cup noodles. She even brought her own entourage. The fangirling is real. His buddies are confused, pointing out that bodyguards aren't supposed to eat with the client. But the student president has her reasons, trying to create a natural opportunity to talk to him. Our boy is sharp, though. He knows she's up to something. Then she brings up the car accident he was in. Aijin smirks. He knows this isn't just a casual lunch. She's testing him or trying to find something out. And her words trigger another, more painful memory. We're thrown back to the battlefield. Aijin is with a mortally wounded soldier. The man is fading fast, telling Aijin to just go without him. Coughing up blood, the soldier says he doesn't have much time left anyway, so Aijin shouldn't feel guilty. His one last regret is that he won't be able to see his daughter again. But Aijin refuses to leave him. He grabs the man and screams at him. You're not dead yet. People healthier than you die here every day. You have to live. You have to go see your daughter. The raw emotion here is intense. Snapping back to the present, Aijin looks at Yona Sin and asks what she really wanted to talk about. And here comes the bombshell. She confesses that the soldier from his memory was her father. She tells him how she resented her dad for always being away, for choosing his job over her, and how he died before she could see him one last time. And so, Aijin fulfills his promise. He begins to deliver her father's final message, telling her that he should have spent more time with his own daughter, and that family is more important than anything else in the world. He said to tell you that he wanted to see you one last time before he died, and that you were the reason why he was working until the very end. Hearing this, Yona Sin is completely stunned. We see the flashback again, the dying man making a final, official request for Aijin to find his daughter and tell her everything in person. It was his last will. Hearing this, Yona is completely overcome with emotion, finally understanding the truth. Dad really said those words for me? As she cries, Aijin has a profound realization. The man's last request, he wasn't doing it for himself. He was doing it to save Aijin. By giving him a mission, a reason to leave, he was giving Aijin a chance to live, to escape that hell. What a powerful, selfless act.